Hello, the GAA decided to do away with league semi-finals for 2025, and yet here we find ourselves in Cork tonight watching two counties in a straight shootout for this year's decider.
So let's go. And that is a rasping shot. And finish by Declan McLaughlin. Second goal by Declan McLaughlin. An opportunity for a shot. Opportunity for a goal. An absolute cracker.
Oh, wonderful. How did Anthony Burns do that? Galway putting on a scoring spurt. Well, this is sensational.
An exhibition by Páirc. Laying down a marker. It's going to be a rip-roaring affair.
It's a de facto semi-final, really, isn't it? Cork against Galway in a few minutes' time. And that's all that's really left to be decided in 1A as well, because we know Tipperary is already in the final. We know that Wexford and Clare have both been relegated to 1B. And 1B has been sorted today as well, because Waterford are going to play Offaly in the final. It might be a bit of a grudge match in a couple of weeks' time as well, after a controversial sending off for James Mahon in the first half there. We also know that it's going to be Kildare taking on Down in the Division 2 final after their big win over Meath this afternoon. We know that it's going to be Mayo against the still unbeaten London in Division 3, and it's going to be Fermanagh taking on Louth in Division 4. Crucially, of course, all of those teams gaining promotion as well. It is Liam and Joe with us here in Cork this evening. We know, Liam, all of those teams badly wanted to be in their finals. What about Cork and Galway?
Yeah, well, there's a fabulous atmosphere building outside the white lines, so if we get the same atmosphere building inside the white lines, Joanne, we should get a lovely evening. Like, you know, you'd know coming into this evening there's something at stake, so we'd really expect to get quality fare. Look, I guess Cork are coming in after scoring 5-15 from play against Clare in Ennis last time out 2 weeks ago, whereas Galway are coming in after only putting 8 points on the board down in Limerick. So you'd expect Galway coming down on the bus today would have an element of hurt in it, and if they can bring that hurt to the pitch, you'd expect we should get a really good contest, because who wouldn't want to be in a league final in 2 weeks' time? And even for Galway, it's preparation for 4 weeks' time, where they're facing the Kilkenny in Nolan Park.
Well, when Micheál came in with you first time round in 2016, and of course then you won the league in 2017, we know what happened after that. How much of an emphasis did he put then on the importance of winning the league and getting to the final?
Not too much, to be honest. I think it was just more about getting players that for a championship more so than anything, and he's used about 37, 38 players. There's a few more tonight. Josh Ryan is making his debut again tonight. So I think he just needs a workout. He'd love to actually get as far as he can, because it gets it closer to championship and he gets a few more lads back. But I don't think he puts a huge emphasis on it.
Now, he has brought in Evan Nyland and Brian Concannon to the starting team, but interestingly, Conor Cooney goes out, but so does Fintan Burke. So what does that tell us?
Yeah, I think there'll be a few changes. When I arrived here, Liam had it all the info for me anyway this evening. I didn't know anything about it. I think he must have been on to Eamon O'Shea or something. But the PA announcer put Brian Concannon at full back this evening. He won't be there. I think they'll move a few lads around. Maybe Páirc Mannion might go back, Sean Lennon might filter back, Keenan Fahy, and then obviously two forwards coming on as subs, so they'll be up in the forwards. But I think they'll shuffle a few around.
Just briefly, that's because I know that Joe, you didn't mention it there, he thinks Galway are afraid of Brian Hayes and what he can do. Yeah,
well, I mean, who wouldn't be? He's got 4-7 from play in this league, you know, but I mean, there's a lot to be afraid of in that Cork attack. You know, Shane Barrett has got 2-7 from centre forward, Declan Dalton has got 2-6, so they have shown an ability to score goals and to get scores from play. So, you know, they're important, and I think Pat Ryan has been very clear that he's got 12 of his All-Ireland challenging team this year. Or last year out on the pitch.
We'll probably go into that in more detail after the game, but just before we go to our commentary team, it's another really sad week for the GAA and for Cork GAA in particular, with the loss of Ger Fitzgerald.
Yeah, the GAA and Cork GAA especially has lost another iconic figure, Joanne. You know, an incredible family man. So to Catherine and his 3 girls, we're really all thinking of them. A wonderful Middleton man and a club man. You know, won county finals as a player and as a manager, and also obviously what a Cork man, and the impact they had on the pitch and off the pitch. Just a massive, massive loss, and our thoughts are with Catherine and all of the Fitzgerald family.
Absolutely, that's from all of us here. It is set up for a beautiful night of hurling, we hope, here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Remember, it is a league final place at stake, so let's head up to our commentary team for this. It's Brendan Cummins who's with Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed, Joanne. We're going to take a check on the two teams. And Cork's freshen up their forces significantly following the win over Clare 2 weeks ago. Most of the changes occur at the back. Patrick Collins returns in goal. Damien Cahalan comes in at number 3, while the wing-backs today are Kieran Joyce and Mark Coleman. At the other end of the field, Patrick Horgan has the chance to become the all-time highest scorer in the National League. One more point and he equals Eddie Kerr of Kilkenny's long-established scoring record. Galway's response to the heavy loss in Limerick 2 weeks ago is to make 7 personnel changes. Éanna Murphy is back in goal, and there's a start at cornerback for Joshua Ryan of Clarenbridge. Rory Burke and Sean Linan are listed to play at wing forwards. The latter did very well when he was introduced at the Gaelic grounds, as was the case indeed for another sub that evening, Cathal Mannion. Cathal got 7 points against Limerick, 6 of them coming from frees, and tonight he starts his 56th league match. And as you've been hearing, there are late changes. Evan Nyland is in, Brian Concannon is in as well, in place of Fintan Burke and Conor Cooney. Although you may be certain Brian Concannon will not be playing at full back. He'll probably be up there at full forward, Brendan.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, those boys, I think it'll be a fairly drastic move to leave them beside the full back line. But there's a very strong breeze, Ger, here blowing down into the Tipperary side, we'll call it, of Páirc Keeve here. And those long booming puck outs from Patrick Collins are going to be a huge test for whoever's inside that full back line. I think a key part of what we've seen in Cork, Ennis, in the way Cork have played, and especially in Ennis the last day, is they're not shy about letting the ball in. And when the ball goes into Hayes and Co inside, they normally make it stick and create goal chances. So it'll be interesting to see how the Galway defensive shape, especially 20-30 yards from their goals, deal with those.
As I was mentioning in the scene set, 7 changes for Galway from the defeat at the hands of Limerick, which was, what, 2 weeks ago now. That's half a team.
It is, and I suppose in fairness to Miall Donohoe, like, he's trying to find, I suppose, players that he can trust, and that's the process he's working his way through. I think it's 37, 38 players tonight now, with Joshua Ryan getting an opportunity. So he's trying to feel out and see what he has, and no better place to test the guy's character than down here tonight with Cork, with the majority of their team, as Liam said, from the All-Ireland final last year, gunning to get to a league final. I think Cork is a county that wants to get success. They're craving with the crowd and the support they have down there to bring a cup back, and they'll see this as the first opportunity in 2025 to do it.
The crowd, incidentally, tonight, we're expecting a crowd of around about 20 to 25,000. It's possible. 3 sides of the ground all open today and packing up very, very quickly. All looking forward to what they hope will be a really good game of National League hurling. As I was mentioning in the scene set there, Patrick Horgan is within 1 point of establishing level score with Eddie Kerr as being the highest all-time National League scorer. Patrick at the present time is on 25 goals, 664 points. That's 739, 1 behind Eddie Kerr. And we're about now to have a minute's silence here. And there was deep sadness, as you've been hearing in Cork, on Tuesday with the news of the passing of the former Cork hurling star, Ger Fitzgerald from Middleton. He was an All-Ireland winner in 1986, and again 4 years later. Ger won county titles as well, of course, with his club, beloved club, Middleton. In all, he played some 21 championship matches for Cork, and he scored 11 goals and 22 points. Our deepest sympathy to his wife Catherine, to his daughters Laura, Kim and Jane, and of course to his parents as well, Liz and Paddy. And I also want to remember tonight, and they are being remembered here, 2 young men who lost their lives recently, Dara McCarthy, also from Middleton, and Oisín Gillan from Kilbrittain. Yesh, Love Day, Gorev and Nonam Luca Urson.
Victory over St. Mary's Rathline. A dedicated Middleton clubman serving in both coaching and administration roles, Ger was manager when Middleton defeated Glen Rovers to win the Co-op Superstore's Cork Senior Hurling Championship title in 2021. The sympathy of Cork GA and the wider GA community is extended to Ger's family, his wife Catherine, daughters Laura, Kim and Jane, his parents Paddy and Liz, to Middleton GA, and to his colleagues from the Cork teams that he played on and mentored with such distinction. We also extend our sympathies to the families of the late Oisín Gillan of Kilbrittain and Dara McCarthy of Middleton. Yesh Day Gonoram Dilsha Galair. Chassin and the Hull, Dauran
So all set to go. A place in the semi-final at stake. The match being handled by Chris Mooney of Dublin, Michael Kennedy of Tipperary, Nicholas Barry of Waterford are on the sidelines. And we get underway immediately. And it is Galway in the very, very dark strip tonight. Straight away it's Tom Monaghan here as they play down with a very strong breeze behind them for the opening 35 minutes. Down towards Conor Whelan it goes. Beaten for that one there by Kieran Joyce. And Cork have it under control here. First touch for their fullback tonight, Damien Cahalane. Playing it down along the wings, intended there for Shane Barrett. Barrett gets it under control, slipped a little hand pass in here for Tim O'Mahony, then loses it immediately to Cianan Fahy. Carried on here by Tiernan Killeen, who goes for the opening score of the match, but drives it away to the right instead. First miss of the evening here by Galway. And Galway's dark strip, by the way, is to commemorate a long-term link between Galway and New York. The Galway footballers will be playing in New York next weekend. It's a lovely new strip and they're wearing it here tonight especially. The puck out here all the way down, taken in beautifully by Tim O'Mahony on his way. Tim O'Mahony into the circle, hand passing it off here as far as Shane Barrett. Barrett trying to make a space and an angle for himself. Back to Ethan Toomey it goes, fires it up and fires it over the crossbar, and that's the opening score. And it comes just after 66 seconds. Good start by Cork.
It is, and you can see the intention there. The very minute Tim O'Mahony got the ball, he was looking for the pass over the top, but it ended up with Ethan Toomey hitting the ball over the bar there. Páirc Mannion has gone inside on Hayes. There's one of the changes into the full back line.
That puck out is down towards Conor Whelan once again, straight as far as Cathal Mannion. And Mannion, the man you were talking about here, looking to try and level it up, and he's done exactly that. Good shot by Cathal Mannion. It's what you expect from a really good player.
It is. Nyland and Concannon have gone into the full back line, or into the full forward line as well. They'll be the two guys expected to get the scores inside as well, and they get it into them.
There will be changes, and that's Rory Burke, played in the Tipperary match right at the very beginning of the league, but that one is away to the right-hand side. So 3 attacks by Galway so far, and they've had 1 point out of it. They've got a very, very stiff breeze behind them, and they're going to have to make very, very prudent use of it. It'll be Rory Burke from Oranmore Maori who will take this sideline cut. Just about getting it in there towards Tiernan Killeen, holding on to it back as far as Tom Monaghan. Monaghan letting it off up into the sky, but again it drifts away to the wrong side of the post, and that's 3 misses already.
Yeah, I'd be expecting to know that anything just a foot or two outside that left-hand post there is the one to shoot into there with the breeze. Patrick Collins there giving the signal.
Patrick Collins getting a lot of length into that, all the way up towards Brian Hayes. Lets it run on, and it runs on, and Ethan Toomey's after it, and then he was challenged well, and Cork are still trying to forage for something here, but eventually Darren Morrissey has it under control, gets away from the challenge, slips it out there towards Sean Linan, playing around left half back. Held on to here by Cathal Mannion, has come deep. Back to Morrissey it comes once again. And then they'd get themselves out of difficulty with Shane Morgan picking it up. Played at corner back in the last couple of matches, coming under a lot of pressure. Gives it to Cianan Fahy, hand passes it away here. And this is Joshua Ryan, son of Eanna. His dad won 2 All-Irelands, and that little pass there just didn't quite remain in Galway hands, and Cork have to get it back again. And Tim O'Mahony once more in the action. Taken out to the wings here towards Shane Barrett. Barrett fires it long, deep in towards Patrick Horgan. Challenge there by Darren Morrissey, taken from behind, free in for Cork, free in which I'm sure Patrick Horgan himself will take.
Yeah, he will at all caves. Patrick Horgan has always been very clever, gets his body in the way all the time, knows the defender doesn't know when he's going to stop or slow down, and crashes into the back of him and gives them a good chance now to level up the history books.
Yeah, the record has stood since Eddie Kerr played his last National League match back in 1977. The great man from Kilkenny scored some 72 goals, 524 points. That's 740 points. So now Patrick Horgan can level that record, and he has done so after just 4 minutes of play.
Yeah, Micheál Donoghue put the resultant counter-attack into a bit of teething problems, we'll call it. When Joshua Ryan went up, it was clear goal-scoring opportunity, just couldn't get the hand pass right.
Anna Ryan sharing goalkeeping responsibilities with Derek Fahy in this league, but that's collected here well. Robert Downey going across, their team captain, cut out in the middle of the field, however, and Galway have it back once again. And this is Gavin Lee settling in well into that number 6 position. Back out to Rory Burke. Bright start by him, his second shot at the target, and this one is rewarded with a score. In just his second ever National League game, teams are level for the second time.
Yeah, and the Galway half-back line have been really, really good at finding the half-forward line. I know they've had 2 or 3 wides already, but that one there was a good score. They're finding their men and getting the shots away will be the main thing.
And doing all of that on a very, very blustery evening here down on Lee's side. Cork trying to go into the attack again. That was up towards Brian Hayes, collected by Páirc Mannion, slipped it across to Tom Monaghan, and they're able to work it to Cianan Fahy, who looks to try and get Galway's next score, but again, the shooting letting them down.
Yeah, they'll rue those chances all right. I know we're only 5 or 6 minutes in, but they need a couple more to settle. The scoreboard is certainly not reflecting the amount of opportunities. Here's the signal again. Hayes, you can be sure, may be involved in a long puck out here.
Got a glimpse there of Pat Ryan, the team manager, down on the sideline. He has 12 of his starters from last year's All-Ireland starting here tonight. This one out as far as Mark Coleman, played in that half-back line. It's the same half-back line, it's same midfield as played against Clare, and that is Dara Fitzgibbon, and that's Cork's first miss of the evening here. He's had a wonderful National League so far, Dara Fitzgibbon from Charleville. Short puck out taken by Galway to Sean Linan, out to Tiernan Killeen. From deep inside his own 45-metre line, down towards the inside forward line. Sean O'Donoghue here, gathering, taking it there from Evan Nyland, wearing the number 21 jersey. Back out to Mark Coleman, and Coleman then hand-passing it forward here. And the referee has decided it was a throw as Coleman was trying to link up with Brian Roach. Referees have been very, very tough on that particular ruling in this National League so far.
Yeah, it was a harsh one there, and Mark Coleman, it did look like that he had that separation there, but they're doing it so fast now, Jaron. You'd expect 4 or 5 of these a game probably to be thrown.
Evan Nyland will take over the free-taking duties from Conor Cooney. Cooney had been programmed to start here, but doesn't do so, but he is available should he be required. So Evan Nyland, a very, very assured free taker, as we know from his recent seasons in the National League and in the Championship. So this has the breeze behind him, and it's pretty much straight down to the goal at the Blackrock end of Páirc Uí Chaoimh, Super Value Páirc Uí Chaoimh, where Galway have taken the lead, and Evan Nyland gets his opening point of the match. Patrick Collins, man who first played in the National League some 9 years ago now, out as far as Mark Coleman, nobody marking him, so able to move it smartly down. Coming onto it here and taking it brilliantly is Shane Barrett. Barrett firing it in and firing it over the crossbar. So efficient, so accurate.
Yeah, some touch when the ball came in here. Watch the touch here, one hand feathers it up and then arrowed it over the bar.
And the ball has been given away to Brian Roach, and Roach has his first chance of getting among the scorers and makes the very most of it as well. Well, he's the one player in the Cork starting 15 tonight who had no involvement in last year's All-Ireland final, although he was in the extended panel. Level for the third time.
You can see the confidence racing through the Cork forwards' veins there when they're hitting the ball over the bar, contrast to Galway so far, who've been struggling.
Well, they put up 6-20 against Clare 2 weeks ago, so they should be extremely confident. Conor Whelan, nicely done. Oh. That's beautifully over the crossbar. Judged it to absolute perfection in this, his 47th ever National League game. Out on the wings there, superbly done.
When you
level
need
again.
leadership, when you need leadership, it never moved left or right, just arrowed over the bar.
And that puck out has been cut out by Galway. Initial touch there was by Rory Burke. Tiernan Killeen involved, and now it's Sean Lennon. Lennon getting away from his man, it was Mark Coleman. Little hand pass inside, intended once again for Burke. Couldn't take it, however. Rob Downey bends his back, gets it out as far as Ethan Toomey, and Toomey fires it into the inside forward line, in towards Brian Hayes. First touch, did so well against Clare. He's likely to do well here. He's done so.
A ball that was made by Dalton and Horgan. They made the run out to the left-hand side as the deliverer was looking in. And guess who goes out the other side then? He leaves up the space for Hayes. They cleared that channel lovely, and look at that for a finish.
His 6th goal in this year's National League. Brian Hayes scores after 10 minutes, and it's won 4 points. Cork have it again, battling hard for everything. The little pile-up of bodies here. Now who's going to emerge with possession at the end of it? Tim O'Mahony kicking it out to himself and then firing it forward towards Dara Fitzgibbon if he can get to it. Challenge there by Gavin Lee, and Lee stands his ground, but the referee says there was a foul on Fitzgibbon, and it's going to be another free in.
Yeah, Gavin Lee just pulled across him there. In fairness, he was afraid of his life because inside him there was loads of grass. You can see the pull across there. He had to give away the free. So Fitzgibbon got on his bike there. The next person he was going to meet was Éanna Murphy. But getting on that goal, Gerard, was just class, looking at the other end of the pitch to watch the way Dalton and Horgan cleared up the space in front of Hayes. Hayes knew what was happening, and once he got it in his hand, there's nothing you can do. He's so big and so strong. We spoke about him before the game.
So here's the chance of the all-time scoring record in the National League. And it falls to Patrick Horgan, playing in his 95th National League game. Up and over the crossbar, and he is the history maker. 2 for the night so far. 25 goals, 666 points. Cork able to win it back there once again. Going back is Shane Barrett. Playing it forward here as far as Brian Roach, already scored. Trying to hold off the challenge of Gavin Lee, and Lee gets in tight. And then Monaghan comes in as well to try and get to him, and Galway win the possession back. And Kieran Fahy from Ardrahan plays it out there as far as Cathal Mannion. Mannion slips the ball over here as far as Rory Burke, looking for a response to the goal and the point they've conceded in recent times, and that's very well done indeed by Rory Burke. 2nd point of the night for him, won 5 to 5 points.
Yeah, to fair to Galway, they've worked the ball really well, and they've had the opportunity there in that middle third. It's just the shooting has been accurate, but in fairness to that occasion, Rory Burke split the post.
Rory's dad, Richard, is a former Galway goalkeeper. I think he was an under-21 winner as well. Puck out for Cork, ready to be taken by Patrick Collins once again, this time slipping it out to his right as far as Niall O'Leary, ever present in this National League team, as is Dara Fitzgibbon here, playing it forward. Decky Dalton going out there to get it, very tightly marked by Joshua Ryan. Ryan did well.
It's unusual, Gerard. Cork or Galway are giving up the puck out. They're leaving the option of the wing backs, but they don't have anybody sitting back. Normally you see that there's somebody sitting in front of the 3 full forwards for Cork for the second ball, but Galway aren't putting anybody in there, so they're kind of zonal marking around the middle third, which is allowing Cork to get out easily.
Decky Dalton ready to take this, summing up his options, eventually deciding to cut it in, and nothing whatsoever coming of that one. In fact, it's second wide of the game by Cork. Micheál Donoghue, 2nd spell in charge as manager, of course, and reaching a league final would be a very notable achievement for him. Éanna Murphy driving it away downfield, ready to collect there well was Rob Downey, in as far as Ethan Tooney, the bars man, and then Kieran Joyce slipping it away to the wings, trying to stretch the Galway defence as best they can. Hayes had it, went off the legs, I think, of Páirc Mannion. It'll be a Cork sideline ball.
Yeah, Mannion did really well there. You see why he'd have that man marking role there when he had the benefit of the sideline out there. He's able to use his strength to force him out wide.
Once again, Decky Dalton will take it. Rolled in here towards Tim O'Mahony, feeding it back out once again to the other O'Neill's man. Looking to try and get past his man, who was Páirc Mannion. Mannion, a very, very experienced campaigner. That time dispossessed by Dara Fitzgibbon. Used his stick on the ground to try and win it back. but Galway still managed to get possession here and flick it back out as far as Tom Monaghan. Monaghan on his way as a support player there to help him. That support player is Joshua Ryan. All the way in, beautifully collected, nicely done there by Brian Concannon. The first time we've seen him. In came the challenge of Sean O'Donoghue, and the referee didn't like the nature of the shoulder, and it's got to be a free in.
Yeah, Concannon did well there. Used his body again. You can see him, he's heading straight for goal. He was knocked over all right, but wasn't.
Not 100% certain it was a shoulder to shoulder.
No,
George.
that's the thing, yeah. Well, there's only small fractions involved in it, to be fair. Concannon again just shows the threat if the ball goes in anyway, right?
And Nyland duly pops it over the crossbar. Second point for Evan Nyland. Pat Ryan encouraging his charges, 2 between them. Early stages in this match. Collins with the puck out. Bit of work to do to win this one, but it's taken very neatly by Shane Barrett. All the way back to Tim O'Mahony, trying to go by Tom Monaghan. Over as far as Rob Downey. Stretching them again here. And this time, over there goes Declan Dalton. Trying to settle into the match and try to get the better of his immediate opponent. Flicking it forward there towards Brian Roach. Brian Roach's twin is one of the subs tonight for Cork. Galway have it back. Sean Linan. And from his own half of the field all the way down. Intended for Concannon, but well guarded at the back there. Ethan Toomey holds it. Has support players to his right and to his left. Gives it over to Kieran Joyce. Again, pinging the ball around here. A little overdone that time. Intended for Barrett. Couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing. When Joyce looked up there, he could see that there was a covering defender gone back in to sweep in front of the 2 inside forwards.
Galway trying to burst out of defence here. Shane Morgan showing a little inexperience that time, taking on too many players. Tim O'Mahony stepping in, surrounded by 3 Galway players. Mark Coleman trying to win it back. Tom Monaghan has it instead. And finally that shot there is by Cathal Mannion, and it's beautifully over the crossbar, and that's his second of the game.
Yeah,
1-5-7.
Yeah, sorry, absolute quality from Mannion there. He had hitting a flash there. He just knew where he was in the pitch, had his bearings perfect.
But that is a good recovery by Galway to the concession of the goal, and then the point by Patrick Horgan from a free a little while ago. They've done extremely well. Back to within 1. From the puck out up towards Brian Hayes. Up into the air he went, but the ball went over his head. Brian Roach winning it, battling hard, back towards Hayes. Slips the hand pass as far as Darragh Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon going in on goal. Danger here. Darragh Fitzgibbon with his 4th ever championship goal.
That's why Gavin Lee did the right thing about 5 or 6 minutes ago, and that he was able to get him down. When this man stretches his legs like this, see all the grass in front of him there, he's just gone. The defender goes to meet him, he's trying to help his goalie. Goalie be a little bit disappointed there as well. Jared has struck from a bit out, is going fairly lively, all right, to be fair. Got the top spin on it.
4th goal he's got in this year's National League, Darragh Fitzgibbon. Kieran Joyce back there as far as Sean O'Donoghue. Up there to be won. Gavin Lee got there. Referee holds up the play because there's an injury to Brian Roach. And anytime there is a collision of heads like that, the referee quite correctly makes sure that the game is halted.
Yeah, hopefully he's just winded there. That pitch down there is fantastic surface. It was like concrete when you fall on it. Just hope he's okay. He appears to be up and just get his breath. But again, it just shows the hunger that Cork have and the goal machine that they have. Midfielder cutting inside, and again the top spin, and just that little bounce in front of the goalkeeper is enough. Great finish. But that's your threat every time you play against Cork now with this team that they have, the pace and legs they have. It's just frightening at times for defences.
Well, that's 2 goals inside 17 minutes, Brendan. And now they have possession back in their own half of the field, and it's Ethan Toomey. Swings it into the centre. Not sure that Rob Downey was anticipating it. Mightn't have anticipated the challenges, but he did extremely well. The hand pass is short, however, and Tiernan Killeen got in there. A couple of mistakes there per team. Finally, it'll be a line ball, and it'll be a line ball to Cork. Pat Ryan hoping to make the league final against Tipperary. Even though it would mean playing against one of their opponents who will be facing them in the round robin of the Munster Championship pretty soon. But both Tip and Cork, and indeed Galway as well, all want a trophy, that's for sure. Mark Coleman. Missed there by Decky Dalton, but collected by Brian Roach, showing he's fully recovered, slipping the little pass here to Ethan Toomey, but surrounded immediately by Galway players. Tiernan Killeen emerging with it. Very quick, getting it forward here. Gathered there well by Conor Whelan. The final shot down here, in over the head of Brian Concannon. Good handling by Patrick Collins, and then he is stopped by Concannon, and the referee awards the free out. There was the challenge, free's already been taken. Cork on their way into the middle of the field once again. Mark Coleman slipping it there as far as Tim O'Mahony, and O'Mahony tries his luck from a huge distance out and puts it over the crossbar.
Yeah, on that occasion Tim O'Mahony found himself free in the middle third of the pitch because Cian Fahy on your left there had decided to sit back. Galway are kind of a little bit caught now. They're trying to hedge a bit in front of the Cork full forward line to stop the threat.
Tiernan Killeen, very good puck out, straight to Killeen, nicely down. Mannion drops it, gets possession back once again. Ready to take on the shot, made an angle for himself. Simple as you like, but such a good player made it look simple. A third point already in the game for him, and it's 2-6, 2-8 points.
Yeah, I think the key thing for Galway here is just to try to hang in, keep hanging in the game.
The wind is a bit crazy here, Brendan. Right up here where we are, it sounds like it's blowing towards the city, which is up towards the goal being defended by Galway. But if you look at the national flags down over the goal, up on the part of the Black Rock end, it seems it's going down the river, heading down the opposite way.
Yeah, it is. The breeze is kind of blowing left to right into that, or straight down, sorry. And sometimes it kind of goes left to right in there. Looks now, Tiernan Killeen has a shoulder issue here. He'll have to go back on again. But while he was doing that, Micheál Donohoe was down there barking instructions at his forward line.
And his forward line right now might need to be helping the backs because they're under pressure once again, and it's Patrick Horgan this time. Got out there well, slipped the hand pass there as far as Shane Barrett, and Barrett gets it inside the right hand upright. And most of their shots are making it, just 2 wide so far, and they've scored 9 times, 2 goals and 7 points. Good start after 21 minutes.
That's the best thing Hoggy does as well. When the ball goes into the corner like that, it sticks, and Barrett knows it, and he's on his bike, and that's just an exceptional score based on the way the breeze is blowing into his face there, hitting that.
Éanna Murphy goes long with his puck out once again. However, it should have been Cork possession. It went through the hands of Rob Downey there initially, and now helped out here by Damien Cahalane. Kieran Barrett back once again to the bars man. Into space, and there's a big huge space between midfield and Cork's inside forward line, and they're exploiting it well. And Hayes is taking on, or ready to take on, Páirc Mannion, but that time he fouled the ball.
Step shot.
Mannion takes the free for Galway as far as Sean Linan. Under a lot of pressure, trying to get that ball away. Ethan Toomey was making life very, very difficult for him.
Yeah, it's important during those tackles when you get your hand in, Ethan Toomey there. You have to take your hand back out again. See his left hand, the way his fingers curl around the stomach area in the chest. That's a free. You put your hand in and out is the correct tackle there. Not easy, but that's why he was blown for it.
Referee got it absolutely right, and now it's a free which Galway's Evan Nyland will take. His younger brother Aaron was involved in the colleges final, beaten on Monday last, but terrific final involving CBS in Thurles as well. That's Evan Nyland's shot. It's going to drop to the right hand side, and it's gone away, and that is their 5th miss of the game so far. It wasn't an easy one considering the wind.
No, it wasn't an easy one, but I think the ones in the first 10 minutes were the ones really that can be the killer for Galway, just to keep Cork slightly off balance. But Cork are in full flow here now.
Mark Coleman, the former All-Star, in there towards Shane Barrett, who was an All-Star last year, couldn't take it. Back out it comes towards Cathal Mannion, exerting a big influence in Galway's attack. Down as far as Tom Monaghan. The Crockwell player off his left-hand side goes inside the right-hand upright. That's very nicely done by Tom Monaghan. So 2-7 rather to 9 points. The goals very, very significant to the match already. And there Tim O'Mahony protesting.
Yeah, but both Tim O'Mahony there and Sean Nanan lost the ball in the lights. Patrick Collins saw the opportunity for the one over the top. And there's the push in the back.
Yep. Can't really have an argument, but anyway, he did, and Cork have won it back. Back out it comes to Shane Barrett once more, stealing away from the Galway marker. And the referee has got to bring it back. The notebook looks to be out as well. Not too pleased. This time, I think, calling aside the number 8, Cianan Fahy, and he gets a yellow card.
Flick of the hurley there just as the ball has been released.
Free to Cork coming up, and this is the reason why the little flick of the hurley, as Brendan Cummins was saying there, from
it's 2 or
Cianan
3
Fahy.
goals, and there's the third one. Just on the elbow, then the wrist, and
free to be taken by Declan Dalton, who takes the very long-range frees for Cork. Measured well, judged to perfection in his 17th National League game. First of the day by Declan Dalton. Everybody in the forward line has now scored.
yeah, they can't stress how good a free that was as well with the way the breeze is.
That's Cathal Mannion back there on his own 45-metre line, orchestrating matters for Galway, linking up with Sean Linan. Both of them subs against Limerick 2 weeks ago. Looking to turn on a really good performance here against a very much informed team from Cork. That's Brian Concannon, drops it short. Easy for Patrick Collins to restart. Bit risky that one to Tim O'Mahony, with Sean Linan coming in to challenge late. Pressure immediately on Páirc Mannion here against Brian Hayes. Hayes with the opening goal of the game. Mannion, crafty as ever. Beautiful little flick forward to Joshua Ryan. Ryan knew the challenges were going to come, withstood those challenges. Little hand passes a little short there to Sean Linan. But they're back with it once again, Galway. Gavin Lee playing it out here to Joshua Ryan. He looks good, he's playing really well. Opening moments of this game. That's a huge one, it hits the post. Down it comes, Concannon's looking for it. The goalkeeper has it, and Cork get away with that one. Back out to Sean O'Donoghue, last year's captain. Soloing forward now, but that time Joshua Ryan out of luck with his shot from a big distance out. Well, that's into space, but to nobody in a red shirt. Instead collected by Ryan, the man who hit that ball a little while ago, and then he's fouled, and it's going to be a free out for Galway. Foul committed by Mark Coleman.
To be fair to Joshua Ryan, he's done really well. He's been very comfortable in possession. Here's the ball off the post, comes inside.
Well, I think he's also played in the forward line for his club, Joshua Ryan, Clarion Bridge. I've seen him on tape scoring a goal for them. He's a big, strong lad, and could be a very useful acquisition for Galway in coming seasons.
And he's really brave as well. In fairness to him, he has no problem cutting out into the middle part of the pitch. Had to go for a point there as well. It's a good sign of his character. He's not a shrinking violet, even when things aren't going that well for his team down there. He's still willing to keep pushing, still trying to get on the ball, still trying to make things happen.
About 8 minutes to go to half-time. 5 points the margin. Anna Murphy ready to hit this one. Carried on in the breeze down there towards the opposing 13-metre line. Oof, first touch there wasn't the best by Concannon. It comes out instead to Cork's Tim O'Mahony, fed through the centre there towards Shane Barrett, and then won by Galway again by a determined Cianan Fahy. Rob Downey tries to make it his, the number 6 for Cork, and the referee finally blows it up and will decide to throw it in between two. Pretty hectic stuff down there. Place, remember, in the league final in 2 weeks' time at stake. Tipperary already guaranteed a final spot. And emerging with it once again is Tim O'Mahony. On his shoulder, Niall O'Leary. Forward there to Ethan Toomey. Lets it drop. Hands cold. It's a very chilly evening. O'Leary was after it immediately, showing dogged determination and tigerish intensity.
Yeah, it's really good from Niall O'Leary there. Gives the pass, follows it on. Toomey is struggling a bit hot on him down there. And his colleague was right behind him then to continue on the attack. That's the best thing about Cork now, and we saw it in NSL last night. They are coming in waves here. The confidence that's there, that the touch will be there, that if you do leave it behind you, there is somebody coming.
And once again, it'll be Patrick Horgan to do his party piece and put this one over, and that'll be a third for the night. All of them from frees. there is this togetherness, this cohesiveness in Cork, which is very, very evident all throughout this league campaign. Started in Wexford, they had a very, very good victory there. And the last performance, of course, against Clare has received many, many kudos, and deservedly so. Cork winning it again there from that Galway puck out. Niall O'Leary playing it outside, not a good ball by him this time. Very, very well read by Sean Linan. Out to the wings as far as Conor Whelan, looking to add to the point. He's already scored, and it drifts away to the right-hand side. They've had 6 wides, Cork have had 2 wides in the opening, 29 minutes. Good puck out by Cork, straight to Mark Coleman, fires it over to the right-hand side, brilliantly into the hands there of Decky Dalton. Dalton going forward, on as far as Dara Fitzgibbon. He's got 1 goal already, makes an angle for himself, goes outside the D and flicks it over the crossbar. A goal and a point now scored by Dara Fitzgibbon for Charleville. Really good work between the 2 midfielders making all of that happen, Tim O'Mahony and Dara Fitzgibbon.
Yeah, did really well, and if Fitzgibbon got the touch right there, it was another goal. He had the composure just to steady up and take the point.
Great catch from the puck out there by Conor Whelan, stylishly into the air to take it. Playing it back. And they move forward once again here now, and this ball is run on towards Evan Nyland. Good angle for him. And Evan Nyland puts it inside the left-hand upright. Good score. That's 3 for him, and that's the first to come from open play. So 2-10 to 9 points.
Now there is more joy for Galway inside there, even with only 5 or 6 minutes left plus injury time. If they can get the ball into Nyland and Concannon inside, Cork don't have anybody sitting back. Robert Downey is staying outside his own 45, which is creating opportunity, but they're just not hitting it in.
And now Cork are not again able to take short puck outs, and the goalkeeper able to drive it down. Repelled initially, but then Cork come again, and it's Hayes, and now it's Horgan having to step back. Quick feet, quick hands, deadly accurate. 4 by Horgan. That's the first to come from play, and Pat Ryan must be happy. Great movement inside. Galway respond, and that one goes over the crossbar, so they get 1 back. An important stage of the game here, approaching half-time. Conor Whelan with 2 points in the match. Again, the usual puck out. Again, Galway slow at taking any kind of precautions, and slow at kind of closing in the obvious puck out routine, which Cork have been using all through the opening half an hour. Galway trying to battle back, trying to get it there. Shane Morgan, the number 7, back here as far as Rory Burke. Newcomers to the Galway team this year. Tom Monaghan playing it down, collected here by Damien Cahalan. Again, big gaps appear between midfield and the inside forwards, and when the midfielders come, they come at pace, and it's Fitzgibbon trying to steal a march over the shoulders there of Gavin Lee. Lee did well, goalkeeper helped him out, Anna Murphy, and Galway got away with that. Sean Linan into the hands here of Shane Morgan from the Galway County champions Loughrea, running into 4 Cork players there. Massive intensity being shown by the team in red. Kieran Joyce trying to pick it up here, seemed to have lost his hurley for a moment, and then Cork have it into the hands of Patrick Horgan. Swept wide across the field towards Declan Dalton. Dalton with enough time to go, pick it up, spin around, have a go at the target. It's not going to... Is it going to make... It is! He's got it!
I know we'll all talk about the Dalton point there, and it is an amazing score, don't get me wrong, but the work rate of the Cork forwards and midfielders as Galway were trying to work that ball out here on this side of the pitch was just unbelievable. They turned it over. You'd swear it was May or June in a championship match.
The crowd are enjoying it, so most of them from Cork, of course. Declan Dalton then with his 2nd point. 2-12, a good score already. Galway trying to add to the 11 points that they have scored in this match. That's taken up beautifully by Conor Whelan, setting up a chance for Tiernan Killeen. They need a score, and that one has gone off the defender. It's gone for a 65. The game's first 65. They could have used a goal there, really.
Yeah, that had to be a goal. He needs to cut back inside there. It's a great block. A great block inside there by Sean O'Donoghue. Didn't panic, but he's hit that too early. If that's up the other side and Hayes gets it, he's cutting back inside the other shoulder and meeting the goalie next. Just rushed again. It kind of sums up the way the Galway shooting has been all evening, really, Ger, to be honest. It's been a very erratic, not composed, very rushed, and the complete opposite is up the other end of the field with Cork, the way they moved the ball, they were getting into space and taking their points when they're on.
Evan Nyland then to try and put this one over from the 65 and put 2 clear goals between the teams, giving himself every opportunity. There'll be 1 minute of additional time tagged on to the opening 35, and that is nicely over. So 4 for the match so far for Evan Nyland. 2-12 to 12 points. The puck out all the way in over the head of Tim O'Mahony, but reading it extremely well here was Cianan Fahy. Fahy was being fouled. Foul that time committed by Brian Roach from Bride Rovers.
There's to Chris Mooney, he's been consistent anyway in there for any slap or flick with a hurley.
And there was a yellow card issued.
Yeah, it's just careless use of the hurley. There's a yellow card.
So another opportunity for Evan Nyland as Brian Roach collects that yellow card. Well, this free by Evan Nyland is deep within his own 65-metre line. The breeze at this stage just might be favouring him, but it's a pretty contrary breeze in the park tonight. So can he make it here? Give Galway fans a bit of a lift. It's a fine-looking strike. And the umpire, well, what's happening?
It's over the bar, but I don't know. I don't think he didn't blow the whistle to allow him to take the free. He's got to do it all over again.
It was good in rehearsal in that case.
He's having a chat with Coleman in there, something.
And there's another card issued, and this time it's to number 7, Mark Coleman. He's got a yellow card.
Yeah,
so that is 4 yellow cards issued, I think, in the match so far. 2 per team.
We know we can do it once. Let's see if we can do it a second time in a row.
So is it a repeat of what he's managed already? He just drops it short this time. And Patrick Collins able to take it. Man from Ballinhassig plays it back downfield again in general direction of Brian Roach. Roach stymied there, but onto it quickly came the support, and the support came in the figure of Darragh Fitzgibbon. Back to Roach it goes, cutting through. Horgan tried to get that ball under control, flicked it up beautifully, turns the direction, runs into challenges there. Ball runs loose, and Tom Monaghan able to pick it up for Galway, and as he does so, the referee blows the half-time whistle, and Cork go in much the happier of the 2 teams. They got the only 2 goals of the first half there. The opening one came from Brian Hayes after 10 minutes. And there was another by Darragh Fitzgibbon some 19 minutes later on a half an hour, 35 minutes, where Patrick Horgan became the new record holder of the National League. At half-time, it's Cork 2-12. Galway 9 points, or 12 points, back with Joanne and the panel right after this.
For more great shows, go to the RTE Player app on Sky.
Well, they got 6 goals in Ennis a couple of weeks ago, and now we have Cork with goals number 12 and 13 of this league campaign, and it's these 2 tonight that are the difference between them and Galway at half-time. Whoever comes away with the win tonight will join Tipperary in the league final. At the moment, it's Cork on top, 2-12 to 12 points. And Liam Sheedy, we had this absolutely perfect view of the mountains of space in front of that Cork full forward line.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of space, Joanne, and they're certainly making good use of that space. And you know, some of their inside forwards wouldn't be playing as well as they normally play. But you can see here, it's very, very difficult for defenders. You can see Darren Morrissey is trying to track Patrick Horgan, but look at all the space he has where the ball is played in front of him, and he ends up coming from behind. And as soon as you're behind Patrick Horgan, you're going to push him over. And you know, Cork done really well here to turn over the ball. Robert Downey's been very solid in that first half. Ethan Toomey has his head up, he looks in, and we could see the movement of Brian Hayes. He's moving left, he's moving right, and as soon as he gets the ball, I mean, he's a defender's nightmare. You know, 4-7 coming in tonight, and here he is catching another goal. But look at here, watch the movement out, watch the movement across. Their movement all throughout that first half has been an absolute joy to watch. And you know, I think Galway, they're trying to get Gavin Lee to sit back, but it's very difficult because Shane Barrett is roaming around the pitch as well. So Cork have really got good returns to that inside forward line.
But they're sitting in deep. They're sitting in close to the goal, so they're not pushing out the field and moving all the space in front of them. So they're in here, nearly in the small parallelogram most of the time, and there is that space. But Galway are going man on man a lot of the time out the field, but they aren't actually going man on man in their half back line, and that's giving them time and space to hit that delivery into the full forward.
And yet it's not what they do every time, because it was a different style that led to the second goal, was it not?
Yeah, it was, and it was it was off a long puck out here down the wing, and it was just hard work basically. That's all it was. And in fairness to Brian Roach here, worked hard, gave a ball. Now Brian Hayes again just goes direct through 3 or 4 lads off the Fitzgibbon, and I don't know, we saw it here right in front of us. I thought Éanna Murphy should have stood up a bit more. It looked on first sight he could have done a bit better, but he stuck it low, he bounced it in front. A great goal. But here again, look at the space here inside, but the lads are deep, and Horgan here pushes out again, moves out, creates that space, moves away, allows that for space for Fitzgibbon to come, and he is an option as well. But
they should be stopped, that Joanne. They should be stopped. But I think Galway do need to tie down Darragh Fitzgibbon. He's had a huge impact in that first half.
And when you're by no means out of it, but isn't it fascinating to see that a man who soldiered alongside this man for so many years for Galway is still such a key influence for them?
Yeah, well, if Galway have a problem with Darragh Fitzgibbon, equally Cork have a problem with Cathal Mannion, because, you know, he came on the last day against Limerick, he scored 7 points, 6 from frees, and he's come on and he's picked up where he left off in the Gaelic grounds. You know, his movement, you'll see he just pops up all over the pitch, and he enjoys that role. I seen him pick corner forward. There wasn't a hope in hell he was ever going to start and play corner forward. So he was always a man that loves space, and he's such an educated hurler, and has such a hurling brain. And, you know, again, Tom Monaghan does really well here. He spots him, you know, and again, he just needs one look at the post and it's over the bar. I mean, his striking is so crisp and so straight, and you see that he was getting that one coming away from the goals. But here you are, Tiernan Killeen again does really well, spots him on the run, and you can see him here, Joanne, as soon as he's scanning to know, is there a goal chance, what's on here, and he says, no, I'll take the point, and he got another great point. So as I said, Cork definitely have a challenge trying to get Cathal Mannion under grips, because he's had a massive impact for Galway in that first half.
Yeah, lots of big decisions for both managers to make at half-time, with the second half just a few minutes away.
For more great shows, go to the RTE Player app on Sky.
Some of the stats from that opening half here in Páirc, including the fact that Cork have converted 14 out of 16 chances, which is very impressive, unlike 12 from 22 for Galway. Own puckouts won, 11 out of 19 of their own for Cork, and the puckouts have obviously been a big feature of that opening half, and the fact that they're going short with so many. But there's something else that you want to point out about it.
Yeah, I'm just noticing here, especially because we were just saying a few minutes ago that there's so much space in front of the full forward line, but it's interesting, when they get short to Mark Coleman, they actually go to their half forward line a lot of the time in that first half. And here Shane Barrett down, an unbelievable touch and a great score. But they're actually going to their half forward line instead of actually going long into the space. And it's just interesting that normally you'd say get it as quickly as you can into the full forward line, but at times they're changing it around, and it's working really well for them at times. And here again, they switched it up this time, long in, and then another score. But it was just something that I noticed, that when you have guys inside like Brian Hayes and these guys, why are you going short sometimes?
Yeah. But sometimes, Liam, because obviously you've managed, some of the reason for that is that we're kind of still in league phase. Are they holding stuff back? Yeah,
there's no doubt, because I mean we all spoke a lot and analysed a lot last year about the Cork puck out, where they went long down the middle and they spread out, and Shane Barrett came off the shoulder and Brian Hayes. So it's another string to their bow in my view, that, you know, if they do need to go short, and if teams start to back off them, they'll pick you off and they'll go to half back line, into half forward line or full forward line. So, you know, it shows there's a little bit, but, you know, overall I think Galway have worked really hard on those puck-outs as well, because, you know, every time the ball is there, it's a contest, you know, and it's a real contest. And I've been really impressed with Galway, because I was, you know, looking at them 2 weeks ago, was saying, where are they going? But I think we get a sense tonight that this Galway team, there's a lot of energy about them. They get themselves back into the match. They had it back to they have it back to 6 points. There's not a lot in this game, and it's a really, really good contest.
Like, if Galway get a bit more accurate, like 22 scoring chances is where you want to be in one half. So if they get to 40, they say that's fairly good overall. But if they can sharpen up on just their shooting, and it was the same against Limerick the last day in the first half, missed a lot, but hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt them in the second half.
What are they going to do, though, about that full back line versus the full forward line for Cork and all that space?
They just have to work harder out the field.
Yeah.
If it's their half back line delivering the ball, if you put pressure on the guys delivering the ball out the field, then it's a 50-50 ball for the full back line. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Plus, you'd have to say that, you know, in midfield, Cork are owning it. You know, Darragh Fitzgibbon and Tim O'Mahony, like, they've been hugely. Pat's put real emphasis on keeping those two guys there all year, and I think he's really happy with them, and he'd be very happy with that first half. So I can see Galway looking to change it up a little bit in that middle sector, because if they get quality ball out there, they're going to get a quality ball inside. If they get quality ball inside, that net's going to shake.
And I'd say Jason Flynn is on now for Brian Concannon.
Correct.
It looks like
you've called it exactly
just over
right.
your shoulder there. I'd say he must be injured or something.
But obviously Jason Flynn's coming in, and they're hoping that he will convert more, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a big half an hour for Jason, for the rest of the lads. But yeah, hopefully they get a goal or two and make it a bit more exciting.
But they have got in with some goal chances.
Yeah, they have. And you know, as I said, it's just like Cork's pace when they come onto the breaking ball. They're just such a dangerous team, because if it gets in behind it all, they're in trouble. But Galway have had chances as well. Tiernan Killeen got in for a chance, and they've been busy enough up there. And also to the Galway backs, I mean, outside of Brian Hayes, he's been the one real shining light. But I mean, a lot of the Galway backs are holding their own. So big first 10 minutes, I'd say, for this Galway team now.
Yeah, we can hear the Cork hurlers coming out and joining the Galway players out in the pitch. So let's head back up to our commentary team, Brendan and Jar.
Thank you, Joanne. And watching the game here tonight with us are 20,010, get it correct. Just over 20,000. Good attendance. Chris Mooney ready to start the second half. 2 goals separating the teams at this stage. As you've been noticing there, Jason Flynn has come in the inside forward line for Galway. Let's see if his presence will make a difference. Mark Coleman straight away getting it down to his inside forwards, in there towards Brian Hayes, who got a goal after 10 minutes. Making an angle for himself, but he puts it away to the right-hand side. And that's 3 wides by Cork. Short puck out this time, taken by Galway as far as Tom Monaghan. Able to get it away out of defence here. Down it goes there towards Conor Whelan, beautifully picked up by Niall O'Leary instead, playing a very sturdy and assured game at cornerback. Rob Downey, the captain, getting into difficulty there, trying to get himself out of difficulty, held on too long. Free to Galway, chance for them to get the opening point of the second half.
Yeah, just a response to Micheál Donoghue been looking for in his troops as they went out. They came out a bit earlier for the start of the second half, just enthusiastic, I'd say, to get going. They just showed there and reflected in their play. Got around the ball carrier really, really quickly, and Downey held him up and gives Lyland an opportunity now.
He got 4 points in the first half. 1 from play, 2 from frees, 1 from off 65 as well. No shortage of free takers in the Galway lineup right now, of course, with Jason Flynn out there as well. But it's Nyland who's on them, and he's doing a really good job, and that's the opening point of the second half. So the margin is back down to 5 now. Patrick Collins, 28-year-old goalkeeper, ready to restart. Goes long, drives it into the half-forward line. All the way up there. Batted back down, out it comes once again. Fired away well. Down there once more, and this time it is Sean O'Donoghue who comes to Cork's rescue. Gets it out towards Mark Coleman. Nobody on him immediately, so he can look up, he can place it, and he can drive it way down. Down there this time towards Decky Dalton. Dalton trying to get away from his man. Dalton has it, advancing with menace. Horgan, opening goal of the second half. Patrick Horgan with a big smile on his face, and that is his 26th ever goal in the National League, and it's 3-12 to 13 points.
Yeah, Dalton gives you this, coming from behind the defender. You can see him here, his strength. In fairness to Cork in the first half, the reason they were going short up along the line was the conditions. The breeze is really strong. You'll see him going longer this time. Dalton picks it, and there's only one place that's going when Patrick Horgan gets it 15 yards out.
Well, it's the goal that Galway needed, but Cork have managed to get. And now there's a decent margin between the two teams. That ball played in by Joshua Ryan. Challenging for it in there is Conor Whelan, and the goalkeeper comes out decisively, daringly, and got it away out as far as Ethan Toomey. Toomey in the clear. Flings it in there towards Brian Hayes. Couldn't take it first time. Challenged then by Monaghan. Tom Monaghan waiting to prick it up onto his stick and roll it up, but it eventually needs help, and the help comes from Sean Linan. Monaghan once again. League winner back in his debut season back in 2017, and this time the referee is going to bring it back, and it'll be a free into Galway, so a chance for them to get a second point in the second half.
Yeah, against Coleman there for just reaching in over the shoulder.
Well, Pat Ryan has to be very, very pleased with the way in which his forward line is going at every opportunity to get 3-point scores. 6 goals in the last match, 3 today so far. And the response now from Evan Nyland from just outside the 45-metre line. Wind blowing into his face. Clear night here in Cork, very cold, and that's over the crossbar.
Cork are keeping all their forwards inside the Galway 65 or 45 on the puck out. You can see them all there. See the space there between the Cork 65 and the Galway 45. There's loads of grass in there. Exactly what Cork will want. Using their pace, Patrick Collins is just looking at eyeing up all that grass to see can he just drop a ball into it.
Cormac O'Brien comes on in place of Mark Coleman. Ethan Toomey looking to get some space here, flicking it across, and that ball's got to go out of play. Well, Cormac O'Brien was sent off, got a red card in the game against Clare, and that was reviewed during the week, and it was rescinded, and correctly so. So he gets the chance to play out there, replacing Mark Coleman. It'll be a like-for-like situation. Joshua Ryan, once again, impressing. Very, very strong player, going forward. Toomey goes after him. 2 or 3 more Cork players after him as well. Gavin Lee flicking it down into space. I'm not sure Evan Nyland was anticipating that it would go there, but he works his socks off to get out, to get to it. And there too was Sean O'Donoghue. Now, did he go out via Sean O'Donoghue, or did they fall out initially?
It's great defending. It's great defending. Sean O'Donoghue, and a less experienced cornerback would let Nyland get the ball in his hand, but Donoghue knew. He just kept the pressure on, kept pushing him, forcing him out over the sideline, and wins the line ball. It's great play.
Sean O'Donoghue got among the scorers in the last match as well, a point against Clare. Looking around now, and just seeing where he'll place this one. Well, it's been intercepted anyway. That's good play by Cathal Mannion. Back as far as Tiernan Killeen, and Killeen sends it up into the air, and has it got the accuracy? It has. So that's his first point of the night as well, and a goal and 7 now that he's scored in this year's National League. So 3-12 against 15. Back to a 6-point difference once more.
Really good score. I saw Dalton doing it in the first half.
Also, again, Brendan, a very good response to the concession of the goal.
Yeah, it is. You know, there's no doubt, but these are the ones now. How are they going to deal with it? They're 3v3 inside here in the square.
And there they go with that long delivery from Collins all the way down. In there menacingly as ever is Declan Dalton. Beautiful ball out by Fitzgibbon there as far as Horgan, and that is a peach of a score. That's as good as you'll see. Goal and a what is it, 5 points now for Patrick Horgan.
Yeah, again, Fitzgibbon was the man just playing the clever ball back out. Horgan rolls the wrists again. How many times have we seen that, and how many more times will we see it throughout the summer?
But as you mentioned, Brendan, it came from that long delivery, and the 3 inside forwards pressing up on the 3 full backs, using space and using it well. Galway hoping to do something similar, but Cork have that particular would-be attack under control. Out towards Toomey here. Challenge there by Shane Morgan. Toomey has it still. Rob Downey now takes it from him, delivers it down. Out comes Páirc Mannion, man of great assurance and great experience as well. To his brother Cathal, who couldn't quite take it because there were 2 Cork players immediately after him, but helped out now by Gavin Lee. Gets around the goal, gets around the referee. Then for Tom Monaghan, and he's going to have a go, but to the right-hand side. It's Galway's first miss of the second half. It's their 7th in all.
Yeah, it's poor Conor Whelan's inside shouting out as well. He was one-on-one inside, just pop it into the grass and see what happens. But again, Cork now have pushed out the pitch on the puck out.
That was for Tim O'Mahony, but he had 2 Galway players there in keeping him company. It comes out in the end towards Kieran Joyce. Fouled as he played that ball away, and everybody in the crowd, I think, saw it. And the referee now is ready to deal with that, and coming across to have a word with the Galway player involved, and that was Rory Burke. He gets a yellow card. So 3 yellow cards for Galway players, the others being Páirc Mannion, Cianan Fahy, and now Rory Burke as well. Late challenge there.
Yeah, just on his
leg.
Yeah, it was on his look. It was on his foot. It's just accidental as much as anything. The most dangerous tackle in hurling for me is when when a hurley goes across the arms of the striker of the ball, but it was miles away from that, so it just mistimed, and is a yellow card. But another opportunity for Patrick Horgan here now.
Well, enjoying himself down there. 36 years of age. He'll be 37 in May. And that is straight as you could possibly. Never veered one little bit, even on a windy night. And that is a goal and 6 now for Patrick Horgan. .314 to 15 points. Referee tells the Galway goalkeeper, get on with it.
Galway trying to do a bunch and break, and Cork have them all wrapped up in the middle.
Darren Morrissey tied up there anyway with Decky Dalton. Finally it worked out here as far as Sean Linan. Challenged there by Dalton. 2 or 3 more Cork players coming as well, and then support from Darren Morrissey, and the referee points at one of the Cork players free against him and against Cork. This to be taken by Páirc Mannion. Little unsure of what he's intending to do, but eventually in over the head of a defender. Then it runs on very neatly for Jason Flynn. Second half substitute. Flynn really had no angle to work on whatsoever. Good play by the 2 Cork players who were marking him.
Yeah, just pushed him out over the line as he was striking. It's a 21-yard free now. Cork are protesting, but he'll be given. You see Flynn, and that's one thing he has, is pace. He's Downey coming in there. Not nudged him out.
Not deemed a fair shoulder-to-shoulder challenge, and it's Sean O'Donoghue who is questioning it. And the end result, as you say, is going to be a free from 20 metres. Jason Flynn picking himself up. It's going to be Evan Nyland who will take it. Score of 6 points in the match already. Happy enough to belt it over the crossbar.
Seamus Hannity below us is about to enter the fray.
So coming in will be Conor Cooney, number 14, and number 22 coming in as well as Declan McLaughlin. So 2 forwards coming in, and Evan Nyland and Conor Whelan making their way off. Declan McLaughlin will be remembered for scoring 2 goals and 2 points in a match we were talking about earlier on, Brendan. It's the win that Galway had in the second match of the league against Kilkenny.
Yeah, getting more experience in the bank now for himself.
Patrick Collins with his restart. Collected beautifully and then dropped, but won back again by Declan Dalton. Back as far as Kieran Joyce. Operating on the wing. Many people would prefer to see him play in the number 6 position. Nicely in here. Seamus Harnady's involved. Down here as far as Rob Downey. Flicked outside here for Shane Barrett. And Barrett advances on goal and makes the most of it.
Shane Harnady gives the thumbs up there. He was involved. Gave that lovely flick over the top. And again, lovely composure. Playing around the ball nicely. Creating the opportunity.
That puck out once again, won back by Cork, and this time it is Cormac O'Brien. Announces his return after the sending off in Clare, and now here he is back in the Cork team once again. 3-16 to just 16 points. At the back here it's Sean O'Donoghue who comes across, mops it up. Back to Patrick Collins. Ooh, the risky one out to the wing there to Declan Dalton. Advancing here is Shane Morgan. Leaving it a little bit short there. Cathal Mannion trying to make the most of it. Morgan comes in again and loses it. O'Brien has it, gets it out as far as Tim O'Mahony, and they work it out to Ethan Toomey. And Toomey all alone plays it way down to Seamus Harnedy, back in his first start for Cork this season. And that would be a very popular score if he could make it, but he just can't. Cork second wide of the second half, and they're fourth in all. But it's good to see Harnedy back once again.
It is, and that heavy-looking number 26 in his back will be a lot lighter as we go through the summer. It'll be inside the first 15 anyway. He's only just finding his feet out there, and it's a great game for Cork to get him into now, where he can spin around getting ready for you'd expect a league final.
A player who was introduced to the Cork League and Championship team by Jimmy Barry Murphy back in 2013. That's a shot fired in by Cathal Mannion, measured beautifully. He's having a very good match out the field, getting space, getting opportunities, firing over points, and that is 4 for the night so far.
Like a golfer, he just shaped that one in lovely.
Collins dropped there by Dara Fitzgibbon with a very, very good first half. Shane Morgan playing it back for Galway. Chance for them to pick it up again here now with Rory Burke one-handed, then out near the sideline before the challenge came in, and he follows it in himself because it's going to drop short. An easy one for the Cork goalkeeper to get it away downfield again. Harnady's after it, so too is Brian Hayes, so too are the Galway covering players. Gavin Lee, one of them, he flicked away from him. Brian Hayes goes down. Referee says play on. They do. They get it away through Joshua Ryan. A little loose that time. Back out it comes again towards the waiting Dara Fitzgibbon. Played there towards Shane Barrett. Loses it. Galway after it immediately. Group well. Win it back. Take a lot out of it as well. And eventually that ball very near the sideline. Won there by Cathal Mannion. And they move it forward again with Dara Fitzgibbon, or Dara Morrissey this time. And that ball out.
Marginal, I would say, with Michael Kennedy down there. Looks very sure of the decision, but again, it's just pressure on the ball all the time.
And on comes Alan Connolly now from Blackrock, back into the National League team once again. A player who has so much to offer, and he's replacing Declan Dalton in this match. Just an indication of the strength that Pat Ryan and his selectors have among the forward options for Cork this year. Lots and lots of talent. Tim O'Mahony takes this one. It's a very well cut in ball there towards the inside forward, intended for Connolly. Comes back out again, however. Chance for Galway now to make something out of this, and here's the opportunity for Flynn. Hooped, stop there. Goal opportunity denied, and Sean O'Donoghue has it there and gets it back to his goalkeeper Collins, but that was a goal chance.
Niall O'Leary was superb there again.
Seamus Harnedy across towards Patrick Horgan, runs on, collected there by Brian Hayes, back as far as Shane Barrett, and once again he splits the post. 4 points in this match now for Shane Barrett, 2 coming in the second half, and Cork once again lead by 3 goals.
Yeah, it all came from super defending up the other side of the pitch. And here, there's a little drag back there. He went to ground. We could have been in black card territory. Didn't. But in fairness to Niall O'Leary, never took his eye off the ball. Knew the forward had to throw it up. Got the hurley in. Super defending.
Anna Murphy with that puck out. Won back once again by Cork and by Kieran Joyce. Helped out over there by Harnedy. He's been very involved since coming in here. Alan Connolly also wants to get involved. Trying to get by the nearest defender there, who was Joshua Ryan. It's still Connolly, head down, determined, anxious to make an impression here, and the referee's going to bring it back, and it'll be a free in. But really good work by the young Black Rock attacker.
So he gets the ball in his hand here. The question is, did it pop up in the air? Was there... I think it did. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Face and hand the wrong way. Got inside.
Textbook.
It's a real feature, Ger, of the way the game has evolved. In the past, that would have been inside forward going to hurley. Now they go with the hand and they just grab it down around their ankles. It's so hard to defend.
So more opportunities for Patrick Horgan to impress and get yet another score on his list. He's got a goal and 6 already tonight. Goal coming after 38 minutes. Familiar stance. Pitch he knows so well. Every angle of it. And that's now a goal at 7. Number 26 coming on, and that's Ronan Glennon from Mulla. So another bit of experience brought on by Micheál Donoghue.
Giving Cathal Mannion a rest out now as well.
Well, Cathal Mannion has played very little in the National League this year or last. That was a puck out which was seized on there by Barrett. Couldn't quite advance because Sean Linan just dug deep and refused to give an inch there. But it's back once again with Cork. Barrett all the way across towards Ethan Toomey. Got the opening point of the match for Cork, but he hasn't got the latest one. That one is a wide, and that's 5 wides now by the hosts here. They have this handsome lead of 3-18 to 17 points. So it looks to be Brian Hayes who is receiving the attention down there. And what a year he's having so far. Man of the match in the last game when he got 3 goals and a point, Brian Hayes. The pedigree is very good, of course. His dad, Paddy, was a member of the Cork football team that won the All-Ireland with Larry Tompkins back in 1990. This was where he was coming in here, and the ankle,
his leg just went from under him, and he's left his knee is the issue.
Dear.
I just hope that that he's okay down there. Just seems to be in. There's always concern when you see the physio with his arms behind the knee, pulling it back towards himself like that. I'll just hope for him that he'll be okay. He does seem to be able to, I hope, get up and be fine.
Looks to be like Kieran Kingston will be the one who will come in to replace him if he is unable to continue. I was mentioning his dad, Paddy, but his uncle is pretty well known as well, Brian Hayes. That's Ger Cunningham, the former Cork goalkeeper. This was the earlier one here. This was where it came to Patrick Horgan. Bang, wallop into the back of Éanna Murphy's net. And that was Cork's goal, and that was after 38 minutes. So Brian Hayes limps off. Let's hope that injury is not remotely serious, and he'll be back very, very quickly. Shane Kingston, a very able replacement.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope that Brian Hayes is okay.
Galway go again, look to try and get something out of their next attack. Denied, however, by Damien Cahalane. Into the hands of Rob Downey. Into the forwards he goes, into his clubmate at Glen Rovers, the very youthful looking Patrick Horgan. How about that? 36, he looks more like 16 to me.
He does. When the ball's coming in like that, though, it's like a training match down there. He could be 66 and he'd still do the same thing, Patrick Horgan. It's just not enough pressure on the ball around the middle third. The Galway inside backs are hoping that their midfield and half forwards can work better. Just can't have Cork guys standing up pinging balls in like that.
Éanna Murphy with that. Down to his forwards. Down there towards Conor Cooney. Again, won by Cork. They're showing great grit and determination. They're showing the appetite all throughout this game. They mean to be the winners, and Tim O'Mahony breezes in. It's Kingston, it's O'Mahony, it's another goal. It's 4.
You could see it coming. You could see it coming. It looked like in the middle third of the pitch, Galway have nearly down tools for all the world out there. They're just letting Cork players run by him, and this is the net result. They walk it into the net, and it fares to Tim O'Mahony, gives it inside. Kingston again goes here, meet the goalie, just flick it past them.
10 league goals scored by Cork in 2 matches. And they may not be finished yet here. 14 minutes still to go. What's the Galway response, if there is to be one? Kieran Joyce, the little flick back to Shane Barrett, himself the scorer of 4 points. Into the middle of the field it goes, whipped forward by Dara Fitzgibbon. Nicely collected by Alan Connolly. Breezing in here against 4 Galway backs. Connolly going. Connolly down, but there was no foul. The referee has told him, get on with it. And Alan Connolly has to pick himself up as Galway get the ball forward by the goalkeeper. Down towards Tiernan and Killeen. Racing over to try and get to it was Jason Flynn. Cork have it back. Niall O'Leary trying to hold on to it. Plenty of intensity from the Galway players. A shoulder that time. by Ronan Glennon, trying to hold up Cork's ability to get the ball out of their own defence. And then Declan McLaughlin has that shot, which is a very, very good one. And Declan McLaughlin, with his first touch since coming on, gets a Galway point.
Yeah, it's really good for Declan McLaughlin there. He's watched his team getting spun around the place, 60, 70 yards back up the pitch, and he gets his opportunity. Here's the looking for the... When the player doesn't have possession of the ball like that, it's not a black card anyway. But he just fell over as he went in. Momentum took him down.
Yeah, I think he stumbled. From the puck out, it's back out once again in Cork possession. Cormac O'Brien, a little overhitting that one towards Shane Barrett, but one back. Tim O'Mahony. O'Donoghue back into the forwards again, in there towards Horgan and Kingston. And it's Kingston with the ball down around his bootlaces, trying to cause some consternation in there for the Galway backs. And they've had major problems all throughout the evening. So much ball coming in there from out the field. And that's gone wide eventually. Hard to be a Galway full backline player tonight with the amount of ball coming in and the regularity of it as well.
And no cover. That's been the thing. Like in fairness to Downey up the other end for Cork, he's doing the best he can to get back in front of helping O'Leary and O'Donoghue. And it's been a huge help his inside backs. But up the other end, Gavin Lee has been playing outside his own 45, just marking nobody at times, because Fitzgibbon goes back out the pitch as well. He's leaving his inside three fully exposed.
Referee had told Ian Murphy that time not to go outside the small rectangle when he was taking the puck out. He didn't. This is a cross here. It's collected well by Damien Cahalane, playing tonight instead of Owen Downey, the all-star fullback, who's among the subs. Patrick Horgan's on his way. Flicks it back here. Harnedy. Oh, it's like old times, isn't it? Roll back the years, and Seamus Harnedy gets his first point of this year's National League, and it's now 420 to 18 points.
Yeah, he deserved that score since Seamus Harnedy has come in. He's been really, really good. His work rate and retaining the ball, he deserved to get a shot away like that.
Tom Monaghan's little ball here across, they'd struggle to keep it in play, in spite of their very, very best efforts of Shane Morgan from Loughrea. Well, I think Micheál Donoghue knew exactly what was going to happen tonight. This was always going to be a very big undertaking against Cork, with so much experience in Cork's team tonight. They picked a very strong team to win here. They wanted to get to a league final.
Yeah, they have. Look, there's no doubt about that, Cork have. And it's a conundrum now for any team, Tipperary included, when they play Cork now, is to try to get somebody to sit back in front of your full back line. You can't play with 16, so you have to have work rate somewhere around the pitch to try to make up the ground, and Galway have just completely struggled with that tonight and left their full back line exposed.
Patrick Collins, this time the ball is cut out, and cut out well back there. Into the middle, fired away by Gavin Lee. Down to a one-man inside forward line, and there Declan McLaughlin's in there, so too. Approaching now is Rory Burke, coming in to help. Conor Cooney's there too, but standing his ground, standing firm. Kieran Joyce,
four red jerseys, four red jerseys around the two inside forwards for Galway there. See how quickly they got back. It was 1v1 inside there, and then suddenly three more reinforcements came back quicker than any of the Galway players came in to help their forward.
About 9 minutes remain of the 70. Patrick Collins down toward the opposing 20-metre line, might break there for Alan Connolly, doesn't. Instead it is Darren Morrissey looking to dish the ball off to somebody. Cianan Fahy making himself available, and then out as far as Sean Linan. Difficult one for Rory Burke to take, but he's managed to do so because two Cork players got in one another's way. Burke's trying to hold up the progress there of Sean O'Donoghue in winning it back. Flicked in and flicked forward, and then back to collected went Damien Cahalane. Cormac O'Brien then low down. Again, a difficult one for Darragh Fitzgibbon just to get under control. Conor Cooney instead, nobody marking Damien Cahalane, so he's able to come onto it, sweep it forward once more, down towards Alan Connolly, put a bit of pressure on the Galway defence once more. And that time, a little too much pressure. The referee has decided, and
it's gone the other way.
Kieran Kingston was, or Shane Kingston rather, was
Well, he's given it to
for
Cork.
Clarification.
I think he's given it to Cork there, has he? Or he's changed his mind. I don't know, he's sending a few dummies down to the referee.
Looked like a free out originally.
No, it's a free in. He dragged back, and Kingston was going out for the ball there. It was Mannion, I think, just got his arm over his shoulder. The referee apologised and said he'd blown the wrong way. Opportunity for Páirc Horgan now for sure.
Scorer of a goal and 8 points in the match tonight so far. Galway making another change in a moment, but before all of that, Páirc Horgan does what he always does, makes absolutely certain. I don't think he's missed one tonight. That's a goal and 9 points.
Yeah, and more to the point as well, any ball has come into his corner, he's been out in front, he's made it stick, and he's brought colleagues into the game, so he's had a really, really good showing again tonight. Just a model of consistency, Páirc Horgan. It's really, really good, really impressive.
TJ Brennan has come on for Galway. He is their 5th substitute. Damien Cahalane hasn't put a foot astray in this match so far. Tim O'Mahony back to the goalkeeper, and O'Mahony ready to take a return. Has a player outside him, doesn't use him, goes long instead. Down towards Shane Kingston, hopped over his head. Darren Morrissey able to hand pass it out to the right hand side towards the centre back Gavin Lee. Helped. Again, they go through the centre. This time it was Ronan Glennon, and his progress impeded because he was fouled, and it's going to be a free to Galway. But they're a long, long way behind. 4-21, as you can see, to 18 points. Jason Flynn taking over the free taking, and he's put it to the left, but I think the referee might be, is he going to get him to take it again?
He is. I think he was saying that Cahalane was too close to the striker of the ball, so he's letting him take it again. Massive ovation for
Páirc Horgan, who is making his way off, about to be replaced, having scored a goal and 9 points, and having now become the all-time leading scorer in the National Hurling League. Quite a player and quite a night for him. So Jason Flynn hits it. No problems whatsoever from that angle there. So over the crossbar it goes. 4-21 to 19 points. I think that's a 14-point gap.
Dermot, I don't see Healy's in now as well.
And it'll be interesting to see how he makes out, because he had that terrific match against Kilkenny. So Dermot Healy, the latest one on. Meanwhile, Galway, and that foul there committed by Rob Downey. Free once again, and once more it's going to be Jason Flynn who will go out and take it.
I know there are only subtle things, Gerard, but again there was just another little drag down there. The Cork defence again, mean, not letting the overlap happen. He's taken down, concede the point, no goals, or wide in this example. But you can show a determination in them that even now, with 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, that they just don't want to concede a goal. Been really, really good there in the last couple of possessions, the way they've slowed the game down, stopped the overlap.
Patrick Collins ready to get it back into play once again. Tussling for it, winning it back there. And that's TJ Brennan for Galway. Probably disappointed that he didn't get a chance to start tonight. Kieran Fahy up towards full forward Conor Cooney. Breaks back out, and Cooney has it. Looks at the target, got 6 points before his double yellow cards last Saturday. And that is a good start here for his return into the National League team for Galway. From a fair distance out, good point, 4-21 to 20 points. This is across here from the puck out as far as Cormac O'Brien. Down towards Alan Connolly if he can get there first, but the man who did get there first in the end looks to have carried it out there, Páirc Mannion. Be quite a tussle there in the inside forward line with Brian Hayes and Alan Connolly, both very, very assured inside forwards. Going to be very interesting come championship time, which is only just around the corner. Dermot Healy there trying to get to that. End result anyway is going to be a free to Galway.
I think too for defence as well, Gerard, they're preparing to play against this Cork team. The key thing they have across all of that team as such, I suppose, is pace and speed. And if there's open spaces, they'll get to the ball first.
This time a little push by Niall O'Leary. Heading into the concluding minutes now of this match here. So once again it'll be a chance for Galway to get a score from a free, but they've had too many of those. Conor Cooney now taking over the free taking. We've had Evan Nyland who scored 7 earlier on. We had Jason Flynn getting 1, and now Conor Cooney has already scored from play. And this one to add to that. 4 clear goals between the teams. Cooney with his second. He's a very assured free taker. He's a player they need come championship time.
He needs to find form. I don't think in the last couple of years that he's really shot the lights out from the high standards he had set for himself. If Galway are going to do anything, the Leinster Championship, which is only just around the corner now, he'll have to be a big part of it.
Niall O'Leary for Cork, all the way down it goes towards Dermot Healy, being marked there by Joshua Ryan. And on his debut I think he's had a very good night. He's stood up to everything that's been given to him and asked of him.
That's a fair baptism of fire down there in your first game. 50-60 yards of grass in front of you. The ball raining in, so he's done okay.
That one comes out here as far as Brennan once again. TJ Brennan all the way over. Intended for Conor Cooney, but won well in the air by Rob Downey. And the Glen Rovers man gives it back to his goalkeeper, Patrick Collins. Out to the wings, out as far as Shane Barrett. And now at this stage of the game, Galway have lots of bodies back. But they conceded 4 goals and they were absolutely critical in this match. And that's a good ball in there, but deflected well by Niall O'Leary away from the Galway forward, out towards Sean O'Donoghue. Challenged by Conor Cooney. Stalemate. Cooney eventually making sure it doesn't go out over the line. Shane Barrett back there helping. It's difficult, but Cianan Fahy is trying to get there somehow, and eventually taken out by Barrett. Out as far as Tim O'Mahony. What a match he has played. A point in the first half, a goal after 57 minutes, and that's just to the left-hand side. It's Cork's 5th wide of the second half. They're 7th in all, but they won't argue too much about that. We've only got another 2.5 minutes to go, and we're all set for Cork's appearance in a National League final, which will be against Tipperary in 2 weekends from now. Up as far as Conor Cooney, that one goes. Awkward angle, but he's got a very, very good point. A 3rd point by Conor Cooney. Cork would dearly love to win this National League, of course. It's some 27 years since they were National League champions. And in that intervening period, they've lost 5 finals. It'll be an interesting one against Tip, as Kieran Joyce fires it across over towards Shane Kingston. Got there well. Again, what Brendan Cummins was saying earlier, got the hand down low, collected it, gave it back as far as Dara Fitzgibbon, and then fired in by Cormac O'Brien. Stopped on the line by Éanna Murphy, took it down well, cleared it away. Just over a minute still to go here. Kieran Joyce out as far as Ethan Toomey. Switched over there towards Barrett. Picked it up and then darts forward. Oh, I think he saw a Cork player in his eye line, but gave it away to the other number 11, and that's Tiernan Killeen. Flicked outside here. Conor Cooney to add to the 3 points that he's already scored, but not with that one. So a very disappointing night for Galway. They've got to dust themselves down now. That's 2 defeats in a row, having won 3 games before that. And they've got the championship coming up next. Cork will be looking ahead to a place in the National League final and a match with their old rivals Tipperary. It'll be a 6th. As we watch this one more time, can they make it? They can. Wow, from that angle there, superbly done by Alan Connolly. What a point that is, late on.
It's amazing. It looked like just going 3 or 4 yards wide, and the breeze just caught it as it went out over the top of the stand and exposed to it, and blew it back in over the bar.
Still a few seconds left to play here. TJ Brennan out to Cianan Fahy, swung it in there, but again denied by the Cork cover. Lots and lots of bodies back there, and the referee blows the final whistle, and Cork beat Galway by 12 points here in this last round of the National League, which doubled up pretty much as a semi-final, and they will go through. Pat Ryan extremely happy, I'm sure, with that performance. It's Cork's first appearance in a National League final since 2022. It'll be a 6 Cork Tip final. The last time they met was back in 1960 in the final, and Tip won that day, captained by Tony Wall. Well, this time it'll be Cork going into this final fresh after scoring 4 goals tonight to back up the 6 they got against Clare in the very last match. Quite a performance then at Páirc in front of 20,000 people, which finished Cork 4 goals and 22 points, Galway 22 points.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Brendan. It certainly was a performance. Joe Canning, that was emphatic, was it not?
Yeah, pretty bad second half, to be honest. Not good stuff. Cork were very impressive. Worked harder, more. Their attitude seemed better. Their body language seemed better. They were just hunting in packs, and Galway had no answer to it.
I think, though, Joe, and it's a sign of where both teams are at. You know, Pat Ryan is a long time at this now. He's a fair sense of where his team is at. I don't think Galway have any set style of play yet. It's early days in Mihal. He's not really sure of his team. A few hands went up again tonight. I thought Josh Ryan was very good. Gavin Lee settled in the centre back. So it is early days, but you can see the gulf in where both teams are at, and I think it came through in that finish tonight.
That's a bit worrying, is it not, with only 4 weeks to championship?
Yeah, it is in one sense, but Liam is right. Cork are All-Ireland finalists last year, nearly champions, as you said earlier on. And Galway are building, you know, they have young guys there, some 19, 20-year-olds starting tonight, so it's hard to know. It's just disappointing, the scoreline. They missed so much in the first half, in fairness. Yeah. They had a lot of chances, and they just missed so much. If they tidy that up, who knows in Leinster Championship. It
might be disappointing for Galway, certainly not disappointing for Cork. They have a couple of famines they want to end. They're just one win away from ending one of them anyway. We'll have more analysis and reaction after this.
A luxurious hotel and spa located in the heart of the countryside in County Laois. Once there, you will stay 5 nights in a deluxe room at this stylish hotel with breakfast each morning and dinner on one evening in Blake's Restaurant and the elegant 7 Bar, where you can taste all the fabulous local cuisine. There's afternoon tea too, and so you can relax and unwind after all that. There's a pampering treatment each in the Heritage Spa. You'll want to explore the ancient East, so there's €500 for your pocket too. Check it out on theheritage.com. For your chance to win, answer this question. Which of these is the current manager of the Kerry senior football team? Is it Jack McCaffrey or Jack O'Connor? To enter, call the number on screen or text the word GAME followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, 31st of March. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
For more great shows, go to the RTE Player app on Sky.
It is official. It is going to be Tipperary against Cork in this year's league final. Tipperary were actually trailing for most of today against Clare, but they've sneaked away with yet another victory, and Cork so dominant against Galway, winning 422 to 22 points. And that was in no small part to the 36-year-old, nearly 37-year-old who's standing here beside us, Patrick Horgan. Patrick, at least you got your hurley back, because Joe Canning was having far too long.
Yeah, I was having a look at it there. That's very heavy, very heavy.
He wouldn't like it.
You have broken so many records, and obviously you're trading back and forth with the TJ. Another one gone tonight, and you're now the all-time National League scorer. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that. No.
No, yeah.
It's nice though.
You did. You only had
to
get 2
honestly.
points.
Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah, pipped ahead of Eddie Kerr.
Nice, yeah. So
yeah.
it's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I know you tried to play down the records, but it must be an incredible feeling all the same.
It's hard to actually think about. I suppose it's something when I stop playing that I will probably say, oh, that's a really nice thing to have, or whatever. But when you're training every second night or whatever, and with the lads, and you see like how well everybody's going there in our panel, it's hard not to concentrate on just trying to get your position.
1-9 you scored today though, and we're going to have a look at some of the bits and pieces. What Liam loved about so much of it wasn't just the scoring, but he was pointing out the other bits and pieces of your game and taking other players in.
Yeah, I suppose that's just a part of our game. Like as a team, I suppose we're a very unselfish team, and I think we always look for the man in a better position.
So sorry, this is the point that made you the all-time top scorer.
But I suppose looking in, Patrick, I mean, there's great harmony in the Cork forward line. You know, and I think I read your article during the week where you said there's 12 guys challenging for positions. I mean, like how you know, it seems no matter who's on, you're very much playing for each other. Has that been something that's developed over the last few years, or what?
Absolutely, and like you see there, Conley came on, Razor sharp, Henry came on, sharp out. Hayes went off. We're not sure what happened to him yet, but even Paddy Power at home, he was flying before he got injured as well. Like there's so much competition.
Do you know when you're like setting up, you seem to be very patient and very deep. Is that a thing you're like working on, obviously, to leave so much space? It's hard with 3 because it's unusual nowadays to see 3 in the full forward line. You're looking at a lot of teams play 2 in and have a roving 15 or whatever. Like you seem to keep your 3 inside very, very deep.
I suppose it's wherever you can kind of find space on the field. That's kind of where we go. It's like it's the same for the half forward line. Like it's, you know, fellas are such good athletes these days. You know, oppositions are really good athletes and they can cover the ground so quick. It's just like looking for that extra yard anywhere you can get it. That's kind of what we do. So make the pitch long, wide, whatever you need to do to get the yard is kind of very important. Yeah.
And how important do you feel silverware is? Is this something that you feel, obviously 2 weeks time, facing into a league final? You know, obviously we know the North Star is obviously All Ireland's in July.
It's the tip lad now asking.
I know what he's doing. I know where he's at.
Looking for the headline now here.
I mean, you know, building up. Like, I mean, you look like a team that's intent on trying to put silver in the table.
Look, we're in the final now with Tip, and the game we did with them up in Thurles was a great game as well. And like I suppose I said it during the week as well. Like people kind of put us up, like, you know, with the other teams that have won so much over the last couple of years, like, but the difference is we haven't won anything really. We've been really competitive, but it'd be just nice to get something on the table. And look, that's the only team that has beaten us so far in the league is Tip, like, so they're flying. We're not going too bad, so it should be a good final and something to look forward to anyway.
Is that something that adds? There's always expectation with Cork. We know that, but the very fact that you've even just said that you're flying, we haven't actually got the silverware, and you see the 20,000 coming out here tonight as well.
Yeah, that's one thing we have, is probably the best support of any sports team in the country, I'd say. It's unreal. Anytime there's a game down here, it's like it's jammed full, like, with a great atmosphere. So they're really important to the team, and they really kind of drive us on as well. It's important to us, yeah.
Will you take us through the creation of space again? You were talking about that, how you're looking for the bits and pieces of space, which obviously all teams are, but it's not as easy to actually create it. You seem to have a few different ways of approaching your attack.
Yeah, it's in every sport. Like, you can't play without having some sort of space to get the ball into, but it's just like the pitch is big, everybody is well able to cover ground, so any little thing you can do off the ball, a couple of runs, whatever you need to do just to get a half a yard, that's all you're going to get. So that's kind of what we practice, and then we're on great defenders in training as well. Like you can see there tonight, Niall, Sean, Dame on the full back line didn't give a yard. Like, so when you're training against them every night, it kind of.
But you're getting great ball in as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's great. That's it's so important.
It is into grass. It's not that 50-50 ball that they're hitting it to where you were. They're hitting it into the space that you're running into more so than anything.
That's really important as well. And as I say, even when it does come in, you're lucky if it's 60-40 because everybody's so quick.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get on the ball. Like that's the truth of it.
And I would also I have to compliment you, and I'm going to speak about it in a few minutes. But definitely the work rate, I think, up top. I sometimes have been critical of Cork and their level of work rate, but there looks to be a real energy when you don't have the ball. Is that something you've worked on?
Yeah, I suppose that's something Pat always kind of demands from us. And if he says it, we do it. He's the boss, and he pointed that out a while ago to us, and yeah, it's something we've kind of put focus on a lot, and we can see we're kind of getting rewards from it, so it's worth keep doing. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just one last one. Did it irritate you to hear people say that? I remember Donal Óg and Brendan, who was up in commentary a few years back, having a big row here because Brendan dared mention that particularly the forward line didn't work hard enough.
Yeah, like sometimes it can look that way when oppositions are really good with ball to hand. Like if ball goes to hand, like everything kind of works. Do you know, it's kind of you're hoping like for some mistakes sometimes, because if 2 or 3 balls go to hand, there's going to be fellas in space everywhere. So you're kind of hoping to shut down space before they can kind of get those passes through the lines. And like Joe's nodding there, but if
there's days you can't do anything about it.
If it goes to hand, everybody looks like they're not working. But everybody is trying so hard, but it's just really tough.
Yeah.
Well, we've kept you out here long enough in the freezing cold. Patrick Horgan, remember the National League's all-time record scoring in hurling, even though we didn't know it about 5 minutes ago. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks very much.
Well done. Best of luck in a couple of weeks' time.
So, lads.
Good to see you.
So we know that Patrick got a goal this evening. It wasn't the only one. 4 goals for Cork in total, including that it was almost champagne hurling for that one for Tim O'Mahony.
Yeah, it was, and it was just typical of how Cork performed this evening. Like, he played the 1-2, and like the goal in midfield all evening, Tim O'Mahony and Ethan Toomey just they were on top all evening, and a great finish. But you can just see here from behind, there's 4 Galway lads here by Tim O'Mahony, not one of them, do you know what I mean, just tracked them, and that's the difference. You didn't track your runners, and that's attitude, that's just work rate, as we were just talking about there with Hoggy. But in fairness, Kingston give it back to him here, and just a one-handed flick. It's at this level, it can't really happen that a guy runs from the whole midfield through the centre untouched and gets a goal like that.
Just briefly, when you were choosing man of the match, the man who's just left us was a big contender, Robert Downey as well. But you went with Tim O'Mahony. Why?
Yeah, we did. I mean, his ability to go from 21 to 21, I think, is exceptional. His ability to get in tackles, his ability to turn over ball. I mean, he really has progressed on the team over the last 24 months, and I was hugely impressed by him again tonight. He's, and he's used to the ball, and like he got through for the goal and just flicked it into the net. He got a great point in the first half, and he's looking to bring players into the game. Just overall, Tim O'Mahony, outstanding performance tonight.
Okay, here he is, man of the match. Tim O'Mahony is with Ger.
That was some performance out there, Tim. Give us your thoughts at this stage. Fantastic evening for Cork hurling.
Yeah, I suppose it was, obviously we're delighted to get a win. A really good performance as well. But I suppose, look, it's very early in the season as well. But I suppose, look, you want to be winning this time of year as well. So, yeah, very positive start, and looking forward now to 2 weeks' time.
There was an intensity in Cork's performance all the way through. You fought for everything.
I think you have to, because if you've an outfit like Galway coming in here to Cork, that if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So we knew we had to give it our all, and look, thankfully again, things went for us today. So yeah, very pleased.
6 points up at half time. You won by 12 in the end, which equates to the 4 goals that you scored, and you got among the goals as well.
Yeah, 6. I actually didn't know what the score was at half time, to be honest. We were so busy, I suppose, there around the middle of the field and things. But yeah, the goals are brilliant and everything, but I suppose you want to score them every day, and I suppose we have another game now in 2 weeks' time, but you want to be scoring them in Championship. That's where they'll be needed the most.
Well, it's Tipperary in 2 weeks' time. You really do want to win a league title. It would mean an awful lot for Cork, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll mean the world to anyone in the final. Some people say there, geez, are they going for the league or they're not going for the league? Sure. When you're playing, you go for everything. Because I tell you, we have a panel of players inside here. There's men inside that dressing room that couldn't get into the 26. And they're fighting tooth and nail every night of the week with us, you know. Likewise, 26 that didn't get into the starting 15. So if you're not giving it outside here, you'll be sitting outside fairly quick. So we're looking forward to 2 weeks' time, yeah, and we'll give it everything.
Best of luck to you, and congratulations tonight.
Cheers, thanks very much. Cheers.
There's something in that interview that reminded me of something you said. It was around the 62nd minute. We just watched Galway come through in an attack, and they were turned over, and you turned around and you said, There's something different about Cork.
Yeah, I think there is. I really do. And they're just chasing their ability to get back and work back. And Shane Barrett and these guys, when they don't have the ball, they're a level of intensity, and they're real intent in trying to win it back. They swarm in numbers. They're very, very committed, and most of the time their tackling is very, very good. So it's disciplined in most cases, I think, which is very, very impressive. And I thought all through, they're waiting for the breaking ball. It didn't work out that time, but twice they did turn over in Murphy and put the ball back over the bar after Cork had scored a point, and they're killer blows. But here they are. How many times do we see them win ruck ball tonight? Very impressive. And this was it for me. Here you have Shane Barrett back helping Niall O'Leary. You'll see Ethan Toomey coming into the picture shortly. Here they are. You think Galway are going to get in to get back? There's our man Tim O'Mahony. Shane Barrett breaks, Tim O'Mahony's on, and hey presto, we're going up the field. So Pat Ryan will be very impressed with 4:22. He'll be very impressed with the bench, but I think most importantly of all, he'll know that he's guys in this jersey that are really going at it in 2025. So, they're in a good place.
They are. Tip aren't in a bad place either, though, so it sets us up for a nice league final. Yeah,
it should. A Tip are probably the form, obviously, team in the league so far, but Cork, likewise, will want silver. Both of them are actually, they probably need it. They probably need it at this stage. It'll give them a massive confidence boost going into championship. It should be a good final. Should be a very good final. When you've been asked before whether or not teams want to make a league final, you always say, if you make the final, you have to win it. Yeah, well, I do think when you get there, the real return, like you're talking about 2 weeks out from the first round of championship, so Cork are going to Clare, Tip are facing off against Limerick. Do you want to go in after losing a league final by 7 or 8 points? Absolutely not. So, and silverware in the middle of the table makes a big difference. And I guess for Tipperary, they haven't won it since 2008, and they've lost 5 finals in between that time. Cork haven't won it since 1998, and have lost 5 finals in between that time. And Tip and Cork haven't met in the league final since 1960. So this is a rare pairing that we're going to have in 2 weeks' time. But I think both teams, they have been the two form teams in the league, and they're rightfully in the final. He's our stato tonight, is Liam Sheedy. Let's hear from the Cork manager. Here's Joe Ryan. Pat Ryan.
Pat, a really powerful performance by Cork tonight. What are your thoughts?
Look, obviously delighted to get to win. That's what we focused on, winning all our league games as much as we could. So, look, delighted with our lads tonight. They went at it really hard. Probably left Galway back into the game towards the end of it there. So, wouldn't be happy with the last maybe 7 or 8 minutes. We lost a bit of our shape and stuff like that. But that's something to go after the lads next week. How we can keep improving our performance.
Have you deliberately gone after goals in this league? I mean, 6 last time, 4 tonight.
Yeah, look, but I think everybody's trying to get after goals. And look, obviously we have very dangerous forwards inside. We all know we have very dangerous forwards. I think part of probably the reason we didn't win the All-Ireland last year was we weren't clinical enough in that area. We had great efficiency on points and stuff like that, but our efficiency on goal taking wasn't good enough, and we've worked very, very, very hard on that. And look, obviously, the league is different to championship, and look, we're constantly, all our focus really is the 20th of April and how we can get better for that day.
You put out a very strong team tonight. You had 12 players who started last year's All-Ireland final starting. You were intent on getting to a league final.
Yeah, but look, when you get into this stage of the championship, you need to be getting your players ready, and fellas need the game time. And look, obviously it was great to get a couple of lads back onto the squad today. Great to see Seamus coming on there, Shane Kingston back, Alan Connolly. They're all vital players for us. Mark got 40 minutes since we hadn't played a game all year. It was Mark's first game in 2025, so that was a huge bonus for us.
Brian Hayes, who got the first goal, got an injury there. Any update on that?
No, we're not too sure really. Look, we'll see what it is. It just seems kind of innocuous enough, so hopefully he'll be okay.
It's Tipperary now in the league final in 2 weeks' time. I mean, you'll be playing them again in the round robin of the Munster some weeks after that. Any thoughts on that?
Look, I don't know really, but that's the way it is, I suppose. Looking from our point of view, look, we know how good Tipperary are, and look, we know how well they're going, so we'll prepare diligently for that. And look, I suppose we've been very clear since we came in, and our job is to win matches for Cork, and look, we'll be taking that game serious and try and win it, but at the same time it's all in preparation for the 20th of April in Clare above in Ennis.
Congratulations tonight, well done.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Interesting there from Pat Ryan with Ger. He reckons it was innocuous enough looking knock for Brian Hayes. Neither of you thought that?
Well, I certainly hope it's innocuous enough, because he's lit up this league. 5 goals in the league so far. He's just a joy to watch. We all love to see really good players in action. So certainly from our perspective, we just hope Brian is okay, and we wish him well. But it did look serious enough from where we were standing. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully it's not serious, because he is so important to Cork. So important to Cork. He'd be a massive loss, but hopefully it's nothing really.
What did you make of Pat's continuous emphasis on the opening round of the championship and not the league final?
I don't know. I think maybe take a little bit of pressure off them now, maybe going into it or something like that. Maybe that's it. I still think that, like, as I said, they had 12 starters from last year's All-Ireland here tonight. They wanted to win this game, and they wanted to get to a league final. You don't start 12 if you don't want to get there. So when, as you said, Liam, when you're there, finals are there to be won. So I think they'll be going all out, and they need silverware. They need silverware. If they don't get silverware, you know, you start questioning one or two little things maybe. But yeah, Tip are the same. Tip are the exact same.
Tip have got an awful lot of credit for their full back line and the changes they've made there this year. They're coming up against a really lethal full forward line now. So how do you see them matching up against this Cork side?
Yeah, but I think Tip learned a lot. I mean, if you look at the league fixture in Thurles and you look at what had happened the previous game in the championship in the summer of 24, I thought Tip's structure was, you know, Ronan sits deep. They're very good to go hip to hip and try and make sure the ball is coming in 50-50. So I thought Tip learned a lot from 2024 championship through to 2025 league. Question is now how they'll get on, but I think they're aware of the goal threat, more conscious of it, and I think they play that little bit deeper and are more intent on not giving quality balls. So midfield versus midfield, I think will be a lot more intense in 2 weeks' time. So I think it makes for a great contest, and you know we should get a cracking league final, which would be a lovely build-up to the 20th of April.
Yes, it would be. And speaking of the 20th of April, when everything gets underway in the championship, where does this leave Galway?
A lot of questions, more so than answers. I don't know that they know their first 15. That's the thing. The next couple of weeks now, training is going to be very important for them. And you're running against Kilkenny in the first game, so that's a massive battle, massive test down in Nolan Park. I think they'll have a better understanding. I think Meath will be happy enough with where they are in a lot of aspects of the team, but not fully convinced yet, I think. OK, we've still a few weeks to go till that, and in between we do have that league final to go for now. A big thank you to Liam and to Joe for their time tonight. Tomorrow's Allianz League Sunday has a later time of 10:20. That's due to the Republic of Ireland's second leg against Bulgaria. But from now, from all of us here, a very good night.